Numbers chapter 22. And departing, the sons of Israel camped upon the descent of Moab by the Jordan near Jericho. And Balak, son of Zippor, seeing all as much as Israel did to the Amorites, that Moab feared the people exceedingly, for they were many, and Moab loathed of the face of the sons of Israel. And Moab said to the council of elders of Midian, Now this congregation shall lick up all the ones round about us, as the calf licks up the green grass from out of the plain. And Balak son of Zippor was king of Moab at that time. And he sent ambassadors to Balaam son of Beor, to Pethor, which is upon the river of the land of the sons of his people, to call him, saying, Behold, a people have come forth from out of Egypt, and behold, it covers up the appearance of the earth, and this people lie in wait next to me. And now come curse for me this people, for it is stronger than me. If we should be able to strike at them, then I will cast them from out of the land. For I know that whomever you should bless, they are blessed, and whomever you should curse, they are cursed. And the council of elders of Moab went, and the council of elders of Midian, and the oracles were in their hands. And they came to Balaam, and they spoke to him the words of Balak. And he said to them, You rest up here the night, and I will answer you the things whichever the Lord should speak to me. And the rulers of Moab stayed with Balaam. And God came to Balaam, and he said to him, What do these men want with you? And Balaam said to God, Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, sent them to me, saying, Behold, a people come forth from out of Egypt, and covered the appearance of the earth. And now come curse it for me. If it is so, I shall be able to strike it, and I will cast it out. And God said to Balaam, You shall not go with them, nor shall you curse the people, for they are blessed. And Balaam, rising in the morning, said to the rulers of Balak, You run to your land. The Lord does not allow me to go with you. And rising, the rulers of Moab came to Balak, and they said, Balaam does not want to go with us. And Balak added again to send many rulers, and ones more important than these. And they came to Balaam, and they say to him, Thus says Balak, the son of Zippor, I deem you worthy. You should not be reluctant to come to me, for highly valued I will esteem you, and as many things as you should say to me I will do for you. Now come, accurse for me this people. And Balaam answered and said to the rulers of Balak, If Balak shall give to me his house full of silver and gold, I shall not be able to violate the word of the Lord God, to do it small or great. And now remain behind here, even you this night, and I will know what the Lord shall add to speak to me. And God came to Balaam at night, and said to him, If these men calling you are at hand, rising up, follow them. But the saying whichever I speak to you, this you observe. And Balaam, rising in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the rulers of Moab. And God was provoked to anger in rage that he himself went. And the angel of God rose up in the way to stand in the way as an adversary against him. And he mounted upon his donkey, and his 2 servants with him. And the donkey, seeing the angel of God opposing it in the way, and the broadsword being unsheathed in his hand, that the donkey turned aside from out of the way, and went into the plain. And he struck the donkey to straighten it in the way. And the angel of God stood in the furrows of the grapevines, a barrier here on this side, and a barrier here on that side. And the donkey, seeing the angel of God, pressed herself against the wall, and she squeezed the foot of Balaam to the wall, and he added again to crack the whip on her. And the angel of God proceeded, going forth, and he stood in a narrow place for which there was not a turning aside right or left. And the donkey, seeing the angel of God, sat down underneath Balaam. And Balaam became enraged, and beat the donkey with the rod. And God opened the mouth of the donkey, and she says to Balaam, "What did I do to you, that you have hit me this third time?" And Balaam said to the donkey that, "You have mocked me, and if I had a sword in my hand, already I would have stabbed you." And the donkey says to Balaam, "Am I not your donkey, upon which you mounted from your youth until today's day? Have I acted to neglect by overlooking you thus?" And he said, "No." And God uncovered the eyes of Balaam, and he sees the angel of the Lord opposing him in the way, and the sword being unsheathed in his hand. And bowing, he did obeisance on his face. And the angel of God said to him, "Why do you strike your donkey this third time? Now behold, I came forth to distract you, for your way was not fair before me. And seeing me, the donkey turned aside from me this third time. And unless she turned aside from me, now then you indeed I would have killed, and then I would have preserved her." And Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, "I have sinned, for I did not have knowledge that you opposed me in the way to meet with me. And now, unless it not be sufficient to you, I shall return." And the angel of God said to Balaam, "You go with the men. Except the word whichever I should say to you, this you shall guard to speak." And Balaam went with the rulers of Balak. And Balak, hearing that Balaam had come, came forth to meet him in a city of Moab, which is upon the borders of Arnon, which is from out of the parts of the borders. And Balak said to Balaam, "Did I not send to you to call you? Why have you not come to me? Really, shall I not be able to esteem you?" And Balaam said to Balak, "Behold, I come to you now. Am I able to speak anything? The word whichever God should put into my mouth, this I will speak." And Balaam went with Balak, and they came to cities of properties. And Balak sacrificed sheep and calves, and he sent to Balaam and to the rulers with him, and it became morning. And Balak, taking Balaam, transported him unto the stele of Baal, and showed to him from there a certain part of the people.